Good morning, class. Last week we talked about distributive trade, looking at a wholesaler and a retailer. We also talked about the differences between a wholesaler and a retailer. Finally, on distributive trade today, we're going to be looking at middlemen. How do we describe middlemen? To bridge the gap between a manufacturer and the final consumer, middlemen are needed. The roles of middlemen are performed by a retailer and a wholesaler. By definition, middlemen are simply the links between the manufacturers and the final consumers. They are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that goods and services produced reach their final destinations. Arguments for the elimination of middlemen or why middlemen are bypassed. 1. Increase in profits. The ability of a manufacturer to supply goods directly to the consumers without the middlemen will increase the profits of the producer. 2. Ownership of warehouse. The ability of a retailer to afford a warehouse facility implies that wholesalers will be bypassed. 3. Perishable goods. Goods like vegetables, tomatoes, carrots easily get spoiled, hence they do not need a long process of distribution. Their producers bypass the middlemen to supply them directly to final consumers. 4. Cheap products. The presence of excessive middlemen leads to increase in the prices of goods and services. Hence, consumers buy at cheaper rates when they buy directly from the manufacturers. Roles of government in distributive trade. 1. Marketing board. The establishment of marketing board by the government facilitate the availability of goods and services to consumers when and where needed. 2. Provision of transport system. Provision of good roads and transportation system will ensure the free movement of goods from where they are produced to where they are needed. Provision of storage facilities. The provision of storage facilities such as silos for the storage of grains will ensure that goods are available to meet future and immediate demands. Control of prices. Government buy goods in large quantities directly from manufacturers and sell them to the final consumers at cheaper prices as against the prices sold by the middlemen. Prevention of artificial scarcity. Government comes to the rescue of consumers in a period of scarcity sensed to be caused by the activities of middlemen. Government releases the goods stored in strategic storage facilities to prevent artificial scarcity. Problems of distributive trade in Nigeria. 1. There is hoarding of consumer goods likely due to inadequate supply of goods. 2. Poor transportation system often create enormous problems of distribution of goods in the country. 3. Operation of enormous middlemen in the chain of distribution brings about artificial hoarding as well as increase in the prices of goods and services. 4. Imperfect nature of the market. One of the major problems of the distribution system in Nigeria is inadequate information about the prices of goods and where to get them from. Number 5. Inadequate credit facilities. Capital is needed by manufacturers as well as the distributors of goods and services, but getting credit facilities in Nigeria is difficult because of high interest rates and collateral facilities. Problems of middlemen. 1. Numerous presence of middlemen is likely to lead to artificial hoarding of goods and services. 2. Artificial hoarding of goods and services will bring about high prices of goods and services. 3. So many middlemen will lead to delays in the availability of goods and services.